The best SummerSlam matches. It's time to take a look at SummerSlam. Since 1988, SummerSlam has been regarded as the second biggest wrestling show of the year. With over 30 events under its belt, SummerSlam has produced some truly amazing matches. So many great matches, it was very hard to narrow this list down and just pick 10. We know there are some classics missing from this list, such as Eddie Guerrero vs Rey Mysterio, or Kurt Angle vs Brock Lesnar, Ultimate Warrior vs Rick Rude, Demolition vs the Hart Foundation, and many more. However, no matter what, the 10 matches we're looking at today are all fantastic matches worthy of being on any list looking at the best SummerSlam matches. We want to say thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you love looking back at the glory days of wrestling as much as we do. Also, be sure to leave your own favourite SummerSlam matches in the comments section below. Bret Hart vs Mr. Perfect. SummerSlam 1991. Bret Hart had so many great SummerSlam matches that he could have had even more appearances on this list, but we had to draw the line. This was the coming out party for Bret Hart as a singles wrestler. He had some fantastic matches on Superstars and the other weekly shows, but at SummerSlam 91, he would go head to head with Mr. Perfect for the Intercontinental Championship. These two worked so well together, it was an exciting match that you never knew which way it was truly going to go. And the clever way which Bret put Mr. Perfect in the sharpshooter was the icing on the cake of a wonderful match.
He's got her! He's got it! No!
Bret Hart vs British Bulldog, SummerSlam 1992. Taking place in front of over 80,000 fans at Wembley Stadium in England, Bret Hart and the British Bulldog put on a timeless classic that was full of exciting back and forth action. Over the years, stories have come out that Davey Boy was not exactly in the best condition during the match, which makes it even more amazing. Bret Hart really did carry this match, and the two of them were great partners, and they would have another classic a few years later at In Your House 5. We would love to know what match you like best out of this classic at SummerSlam 1992 or the Bloodbath at In Your House. Bret Hart vs Owen Hart, SummerSlam 1994. The feud between Bret Hart and Owen Hart throughout 1994 was the best thing the WWF had going at the time. It would all come to a head at SummerSlam 1994. Owen was always trying to get the upper hand on his big brother, and it was decided that a cage match was the best way to keep these two in the ring and other people, such as Jim Neidhart, out. This was the best cage match the WWF had done up to that point, and there are many now that would make the argument it's still the best cage match the WWF has ever done. What made this such a great match was that even though it was in a cage and there was some brawling, it was still a technical wrestling masterclass at its heart. The Rock vs Triple H, SummerSlam 98. Two of the all-time greats were at loggerheads for most of the Attitude Era, and they had some great matches together. At SummerSlam 1998, while he was leading DX, Triple H would try to win the Intercontinental Championship from The Rock. The Rock was really coming into his own at this point, and the whole feud between the Nation and DX was one of the major highlights of the WWF during this time. The match is an absolute classic. These two guys beat the hell out of each other, and just as a good match should do. It kept you guessing all the way to the very end. It's worth noting that just a couple of years later, Triple H and The Rock would be joined at SummerSlam 2000 by Kurt Angle in a fantastic triple threat match. Let us know your thoughts on that match in the comment section below.
For the next 20 minutes,
Is he constipated?
The Hardy Boys vs Edge and Christian vs the Dudley Boys, SummerSlam 2000. What we have here is the first official TLC match. The Hardy Boys were the masters of the ladders. The Dudleys had the tables, and Edge and Christian loved smashing people in the head with a chair. Since No Mercy in 1999, these guys had been putting on great match after great match. Many wondered how they could top the ladder match at No Mercy, the table match at the Royal Rumble, and the triangle ladder match at WrestleMania. Well, they not only matched all those classics, they also blew them away. This match was a game changer in the WWF, and it's still very exciting and fun to watch all of these years later. Is it better than the match they had at WrestleMania 7? We'll let you guys fight that out in the comment section down below. Kurt Angle vs Steve Austin, SummerSlam 2001. Say what you want about the whole invasion angle, but there were some great matches during this time. By the time SummerSlam 2001 rolled around, Stone Cold Steve Austin was a paranoid leader of the Alliance, and he was playing this role to perfection. It might not have been the Stone Cold that we were used to, but he made it work. This match often gets overlooked, but from start to end, it was a real barn burner with both guys giving everything they had. The number of false finishes in this match was unreal and kept you on the edge of your seat. Granted, the ending may not have been all that great, but the lead up to it was pure magic. Shawn Michaels vs Triple H, SummerSlam 2002. It had been over 4 years since Shawn Michaels had a match in the WWE by the time SummerSlam 2002 happened. He had come back and things looked fine between him and Triple H, but as we all know, you can never trust Triple H. This resulted in the two of them clashing at SummerSlam 2002 in an unsanctioned match where anything would go. This match was brutal, and it was hard to watch Shawn take all of those hard bumps on his back. Even after all this time, Shawn Michaels had not missed a step. Add to this a Triple H who was willing to do anything to steal the show, and you had a match that was well worth the 4+ years it took to make it happen. Let us know what your thoughts on the return of Shawn Michaels are in the comments below. Do you think he over-delivered? Undertaker vs Edge, SummerSlam 2008. The Undertaker vs Edge feud from 2008 was the real highlight that the WWE had going on at that time. The company had just made the switch to being more PG, and what better way to make that change than with a Hell in a Cell? Edge and Undertaker worked very well together, and this Hell in a Cell match showed that as long as the story was solid and the match was good, it didn't need to be a bloodbath. One of the best things about this match is that Edge was showcased as an equal to The Undertaker and not just an underdog. It made for a much more exciting match, and even though this was a Hell in a Cell match, it also had all kinds of other fun shenanigans going on too. John Cena vs CM Punk, SummerSlam 2011. Okay, so the ending of the match these two had at Money in the Bank is far, far better than what went down here at SummerSlam 2011. However, bell to bell, this is the better match. CM Punk as the WWE Champion during the Summer of Punk was pure gold. He was just nailing everything he did, and when John Cena was in a program with the right guy, he truly was one of the best in the WWE. This match also featured Triple H as the special referee to give it a bit more drama. This was an exciting back and forth match where you never knew who was going to win. CM Punk getting the win against Cena was huge, but the returning Kevin Nash hitting Punk with a jackknife and then Alberto Del Rio cashing in his Money in the Bank left fans mad as hell. John Cena vs AJ Styles, SummerSlam 2016. When AJ Styles made his WWE debut at the 2016 Royal Rumble, he well and truly hit the ground running. He had a good thing going with Chris Jericho, but when he set his sights on John Cena and played a cocky heel, the WWE fans got to see just how good AJ Styles could be. This is another one of those matches where at the time you never knew which way it would go. AJ Styles looked like $1 million this night, and you do have to give some of that credit to John Cena, who also worked his butt off. What made this so great was not just that AJ Styles won and truly became part of the main event scene, it was that he won cleanly in the middle of the ring. There you have it, some of the greatest matches to ever take place at SummerSlam. There are a ton more epic matches that have taken place at SummerSlam, and we'd love to hear your own personal picks for what are the best SummerSlam matches of all time in the comments section. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch this video with us, and be sure to subscribe for more fun wrestling content.
AJ, you just defeated John Cena on one of the biggest stages in the WWE.
How big is it for me? It's huge, because I beat up John Cena. Prove to the world, to C Nation, that I'm better than John Cena.